Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Xenonauts 2, Early Access, Milestone 4. As today we've once again got a number of projects in the works, some closer to completion than others. Actually, you know what, let's go ahead and tack on a set of Warden armor while we're here. While Roman may have survived his recent incident, his armor most certainly did not, so we will need one replacement set. But yeah, we're right back to the time-honored tactic of just sitting back and hoping for the best as we wait for our various upgrades to complete. That said, I feel like we have pretty clearly seen at this point that the aliens come in waves, and given that we are just coming off of a wave, we might be good for about a week, which would be enough time to finish pretty much all the projects in our current queue. Outpost 9, now fully operational. Albeit with outdated angels, granted, but still hopefully sufficient to shoot down the occasional supply ship. But I do think ultimately, if and when we revisit this game on launch, we'll have 3 hangars, we'll have a bank of 3 upgraded launchers, which I've been told is enough to shoot down any ship. And then maybe 3 radars, basically up to whatever we could reasonably afford. But I mean, honestly, even just the interceptors themselves are a pretty huge investment. Speaking of which, Phantom 2 online. Let's get that transferred over to Exo. And I mean, yeah, I suppose ultimately I could have probably just not transferred them and kept them where they were built, but I'm not gonna lie, I mainly did it because I wanted them in the front row, not our 4th offset hangar, which I kind of consider our construction hangar. Guardian armor good to go. Warden armor in the works. We've got some logistics to handle real quick. Let's get 2 of those over to Phoenix. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Phantom 2 on site. Let's go ahead and get them re-outfitted. I feel like what we did over at Phoenix worked pretty well, so we'll just stick with that. Angel 4 will go full missile boat, and then Phantom 2 will just be an up-close dogfighter. Hopefully soon to be sporting dual laser Gatlings. And then, of course, we'll also make sure we get the new armor into rotation. Though we do have to wait on some transfer times. There's our replacement Warden gear. And transfers should be complete, question mark? I'll double check that momentarily. And look at that, finally up to Tier 2 for everyone. Hurrah! Only 200 days into the campaign. And yes, transfer complete to Phoenix as well, so let's go ahead and get... Oh, shoot, that's what I forgot. Okay, I know exactly what it was I was trying to remember now. We had corpses in transit that Exo had collected. So yeah, let's get that going. Sky Mapper on the map, though still a long ways off from being finished. And here we go. Laser weaponry. The remarkable properties of Elenium have finally brought handheld laser weapons within our grasp, Commander. a prospect that appears to have generated a significant degree of excitement among the rest of our organization. Although annoying, this enthusiasm is not misplaced. My research suggests lasers will substantially outperform our existing ballistic firearms in terms of damage output, and are much easier to aim due to the projectile traveling at the speed of light. The laser apparatus in these weapons is relatively simple, differing little from those already commonplace in modern electronics. The challenge has always been that delivering sufficient power for military use requires an energy source the size of a truck, rather defeating the point of making them man-portable in the first place. Thankfully, the enormous energy density of alenium virtually eliminates this problem. Though heavier than an equivalent ballistic weapon, and requiring more frequent reloads, these lasers can be carried by all but your most feeble soldiers. Finally, as you are no doubt ignorant of the finer points of laser physics, note that these weapons are not heat rays. As such, they do not cut or burn their victims. Rather, they are beams of coherent light that pulse many hundreds of times per second, superheating and blasting away the surface of the target with each one. Such weapons have little trouble tearing gaping wounds into biological flesh, but are extremely destructive, though not penetrative, against harder targets such as enemy armor or battlefield terrain. Oh, interesting. I see, okay. So it's not just a straight upgrade. That is definitely a higher damage multiplier, but it comes at the cost of armor destruction, as opposed to armor penetration. And then aside from that, we've also got easy aiming, which grants a small but notable accuracy bump, with diminishing returns as the soldier becomes a better shot. And then low recoil, that's pretty self-explanatory. Oh man, that plus the armor destruction would make laser MGs pretty fantastic. Especially with the double damage to terrain objects. Alright, let's get a gander at the actual hard numbers here. Oh, come on. Of course. The vehicle upgrades are a separate research project. Right, why wouldn't they be? But, fine, at least we got some ground upgrades. We'll have to fit heavy lasers into the queue somewhere down the line. See, that's something else we'll have to do if and when we end up jumping into the launch build, is get our labs up and running a lot faster. Ramp up that research rate early. So a full week even with our current speed. Though it also does bump up base defenses, so I mean that is a worthwhile investment. Though we're also falling behind on missile placements, we need to get more of those up and running. It might actually be a better idea to lead with alenium explosives instead. That would both upgrade our aircrafts and our ground troops. And of course that's not even getting into all the other stuff we still need to do. Alien electronics, advanced alloys. I'm gonna mull on that for a moment. In the meantime, let's get a quick peek at our laser weapons. Okay. Oh, look at that. Precision lasers still have some pretty respectable penetration. Oof, though that drop in capacity is rough. We already struggle a bit with the 5-round mags. 3 rounds per would definitely be pretty tough to plan around. So that really is more of a side grade than a straight upgrade. You gain more damage, you gain more accuracy, but at the cost of both penetration and ammo capacity, which is pretty huge. Alright, you know what? I'm going to have to put some thought into this. Let's hit the pause button real quick whilst I crunch some numbers. Gotta say, I am impressed. I was really expecting a straight upgrade. But it turns out it's not a decision to be made lightly. Hey, we're back. And, after careful consideration, I've decided we'll lead with a full round of laser shotguns and a couple of laser MGs as a chaser, since, based on the abilities they laid out for us, I feel like those are the weapons that will benefit the most from the accuracy boost, the armor stripping, the recoil reduction. And then that also leaves us with about half of our funding remaining for potential upgrade costs, which will be important because I decided for research we'll go ahead and get Alenium explosives going, since that one benefits both our air game and our ground troops. That'll be a nice little bump in two significant areas of concern, with hopefully relatively minimal cash outlay, but, you know, we'll see about that. Though, with that in mind, we are about due for our next wave here. Oh, shoot. Okay, well that's not what I was hoping for. Alien terror site in Africa, of all places. Which I guess makes sense. I mean, that is an area they haven't really made much progress in. That's right around the corner from Exo, but Exo's still in pretty rough shape from their last few missions. So, you know what? Phoenix has been sitting on the sidelines for a little too long. Let's go ahead and get them deployed for this one, though, given that this is a terror mission, and there is a medal associated with completing one, let's do some quick fine-tuning here. Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't want to go in with a bunch of inexperienced troops, not for a terror site. But we will pull all of the veterans who already have that medal, just to maximize potential growth yield. And then we'll also do some quick spot checking just to make sure we're not overlooking any of our new gear. Alright, Raiders, to those who are about to die, etc., etc. Though, to be fair, I'm not necessarily anticipating a huge challenge here. We have dealt with one of these before. And while I certainly won't say it was a cakewalk, we did muddle our way through, and if anything, we're even better equipped now than we were then. Not to mention, of course, we now know how those cyber drones work, so we can theoretically, hopefully, take advantage of their sound detection mechanics. Let's do this. Oh, shoot. Well. Okay, well, once again, Xenonauts 2 has flipped the script on us. And we are immediately being swarmed by Reapers. Cool. With a Seb and a Mantid Chaser. The Mantid, of course, facing right towards us with a precision plasma rifle. Right side clear, albeit with a problematically placed bus. And left side clear. Reapers are no problem. We can get the assaults on those. It's the Mantid that's the problem here. Though we do also have the advantage of these like leafy gantries framing our staging area. That's actually really nice. We'll clear the cover, hopefully soften. But first, Nolan for cover. Grenade out. Nice. Nice. Perfect. And with the Mantid suppressed, we are now free to move. Let's sew up those Reapers. Aaron on right. Target down. And Bowman on left. Slightly more of a jog. Wall might be too far. I mean, he could get there. Nah, we'll just bushwhack him. Target 2, out. Now the Mantid. The Seb is, of course, still an active threat as well, albeit a more short-sighted one. Mantid out. And now we can focus down the Seb. Which also has the happy side effect of keeping us completely out of line of sight from threats coming in on our right. So we only really have to worry about threats coming at us from across this open parking lot. Clone Trooper caps the choke point. And Lucas. Yeah, that's fair. And then we'll have Bloody cover right. Not crazy about leaving him out in the open there, but we also absolutely have to watch our flank now that we know we've got Reapers in the mix. That aside, we've got Aaron out there anyway. At least this way, he's got someone watching his back. Civvies on the move. Heading straight away from the safest spot on the map, as per usual. That is one thing I'm looking forward to. Apparently the devs are planning to implement a mechanic that will allow the player to evacuate civilians mid-fight. Oh, right. And since we have Reapers on the map, honestly, it might be better if these civvies... Nice. Oh, less nice. Okay, well... Bloody Dove, once again winged. Sorry, bud. But, you know, let's be honest. This is like your third time serving with the Raiders. I feel like you should know what you're in for by now. Just be glad you weren't Kazormed. No hovering noises. And you know what? That is fair. The Bloody Dove takes flight. Oh, wow, that was way too close. Okay, let's get that patched. Let's get him covered. Let's drop both our current active threats. Just hang tight, bud. We've got you. Yeah, we'll have Clone Trooper plug up the side here. Cover that angle of approach. And then Steve. Nice. Seb out. Which frees up someone to finish off the Mantid. Oh, actually. There we go. Landing zone secured. Though perhaps not for long, considering the sheer quantity of civilians we saw sprinting straight away from us. We'll just lock down for now, prep for potential incoming. They've actually really dropped us into a decent setup here. Bloody Dove aside, Sebs and Reapers both have to get up close to really pose a threat, which they cannot do without us seeing them coming. It's really just the Mantids we have to worry about. That plus Cyber Drones, assuming any are on the map, but again, we did not hear any hovering or crashing sounds between turns. And yeah, we'll make full use of these gantries, as we've seen before. They block line of fire, but they do not block line of sight, so they make perfect vantage points. Hold. And here they come. Though we do still have some shooters out there. Buddy, retrieve yon rifle. And cover. Probably should have just camped him out here in the first place. I just got greedy. Though, I mean, you know, to be fair, he did land a hit before he got tagged back. It just wasn't enough. Though, I mean, honestly, even with a laser rifle, I don't think it would have been enough. Sniper rifle, maybe. Honestly, yeah, I'm not really seeing much reason to push out from where we are. Not like we can actually rescue the civvies. They're essentially a lost cause. Case in point. Also, that guy. Like, seriously, was there anything we were going to be able to do to prevent their untimely demise? Also, edge of the map? No, I think that's just edge of rooftop. And zombie. Yeah, zero reason for us to push out. We'll just stay hunkered down. Though we might send Bowman out if we have to roust people from cover. But, I mean, given what we're seeing here, it is in our own best interest to just stay put and let the threats come to us. Oh, come on. Guess we were outside the effective range on that one. Reaper in the corner. Make that 2. Seb falling back. Another moving forward. And we've got a Mantid. I'll be... Oh. Nice, nice. Seb officer on right. Okay, I think right side's got to be our priority this round. Though it is tempting to take out the corner of the restaurant. But no, we've got to focus down the Mantid. Seb too, if we can. Oh, also that guy. Though, to be fair, given the open approach, I don't really see how he'd rush us without getting mowed down. Honestly, same with the guys in the restaurant. No real reason to sweat them just yet. Nice tag. Seb officer's slightly further out than I thought. We'll have Bloody Watch left. We want at least 2 guns at the ready in case that other Mantid pops its head out. Aaron prepped for Reaper. Mantid out. No clear line of fire on the officer. We'll hold. Nice, nice. Seb on approach. Mantid in view. Oh. You know what? We'll take it. Officer on approach as well. And yeah, once again, we are in a great spot here. Nuke the Seb. Gotta make sure we leave enough in the tank for that Mantid, though. Seb softened. Oof. I was hoping we'd at least suppress, but we didn't even get past the car. Shoot. I did not realize we'd burned through 5 rounds already. Shit. Okay, well that certainly complicates things. Alright, Aaron. It's all you, bud. Though we do have a Reaper behind that bus, so position accordingly. Seb out. Let's get him covered. And refocus left. Though we really don't have much left to play with here. Hey baby, what's up? Ellie just watching from the sidelines, chewing on a toy mouse. Don't let her down, Raiders. Okay, let's see if we can at least lock this guy down. Okay, that'll do. Fall back. Gotta say, I really didn't think he'd still have points banked after he rushed last round. And, yeah, I think we're gonna have to get bold here. Let's, Oh, I might regret this, but... Bowman? Oh, shoot, wait, we have a Seb in that building over there, too. Really hoping that doesn't come... Gosh darn it. I have immediate regrets, but let's hope that works out. I'm sure this will be fine. And, hold. Reaper on approach. Reaper capped. Reaper 2 on approach. Reaper 3. Oh, okay. Well, I spoke ever so slightly too soon. Arrow dinged. Oh, fuck. Zombie in view. Yet another Reaper. Oh boy. Okay, well, yes, moving arrow out here was an error. But he's already out there, so now we just have to work with it. Let's do some damage control. Reaper on cab, too far out to be an immediate threat. But this one is an immediate threat. As is the Seb and the Mantid. Though we can theoretically ignore the Seb inside the store. We just need to get Arrow to better cover. Alright. Seb first. Crap. Clone plus Bloody on Seb. Aaron on Reaper. Nuke the Mantid. Shot wide. Come on, RNG, you gotta work with me here. You've got to give me something. Alright, Potshot Mantid. Nope. Engage Seb. Double tap. Bloody on backup. Might not drop it, but should suppress. Nice. Okay, there we go. Could have Bowman drop the Mantid. He is close enough. Bus blocks line of sight on one side, pick up on the other. Relatively safe. Yeah, go for it. Oh, God. Why? RNG, why? Why hast thou forsaken me? Ah, my goodness. I weep the tears of infinite sadness. Oh, boy. Go for Reaper. Aaron on approach. Oh, for bloody. Just just need one shot. One hit. Come on. Thank you. My goodness. I was about to flip this monitor out the window. Man, haven't done that since my competitive FPS days. Which, fun fact, is precisely why I stopped doing competitive FPS. Well, that and, just generally aging out of it, failing eyesight, dulled reflexes, etc. Nice tag. But death comes for us all. To those who are about to die. Whoa, really? Okay. Oh, gosh. Are we good? Please tell me we're good. Holy moly. Manted out. And the pendulum swings. My prayers to Gamblor, the god of random number generation, were not in vain. You know what? We'll take it. Snipers? Reposition? Yes. Oh, for goodness sake. Let's clear this guy real quick. Get him off our plate before we overcommit. Reaper's still a fair ways out. Nolan, can you... No, can't get far enough. Aaron, could you scale things back for us? Seb out. And cover. Bloody number 2. Immediately regret saying that. Seb out. Bowman not quite in the clear, but I will say that Guardian armor more than paid for itself, my goodness. He is not in great shape, but he is still on his feet, which I don't think would be the case if we were still rocking Warden. We'll have Nolan interpose, present himself as a more tempting target. Fingers crossed. Reaper on approach. Seb. Do we still have Reapers in that corner? I want to say they rushed, but we don't have that many corpses around us. Reaper out. Cover. Yeah, that's only 4 around us. And we took 2 of those out on round 1. So we must still have some lurking in that restaurant, because we saw like 3 or 4 just in that building alone. Let's regroup. We'll bait the Seb out. Come on back, Bowman. Let's get you patched. Honestly, I am, armor aside, I'm really impressed he kept his cool out there. You'd think a guy named Bowman would be all a quiver, much more high-strung. I mean, goodness knows I would not be able to deal with that, but that's why I've got the Raiders. And hold. Oh, shoot, right. Come on back, Nolan. We'll get you on Lucas. Hold. That's fine, just cover the approach. Nice, 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 nice. And now we have reason to take out that corner. Let's see if we've still got Reapers holed up in there. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that is jam-packed with Reapers, my goodness. All just lined up, waiting to be served. Seb's still tucked a little further back. We'll see if we can open that up. Trying not to nuke corpses. We need the cash, but we'll do what we gotta. Oh, well. What can I say? Bomb's a little buggy. Reaper's out. Let's take another shot at that wall. There we go. And Seb, out. Though I do notice we're still going, so hunker down. We'll just hang tight for a few rounds, see if anything else comes at us. Nothing. No sound cues, no signs of movement. Hold. Okay. Okay. The Reapers do seem to love tucking into corners or behind objects and then waiting to ambush you as you go by. So, judging from the complete lack of civilians, I'm going to guess we've got at least a few more Reapers out there somewhere. Tucked in corners or corridors. So as much as I hate to say it, we're going to have to do a full sweep, see if we can shake them loose. First things first, let's regroup. Figure out our game plan. Actually, you know what? That grocery store to our right, we've already got most of that place sussed out. Ample cover, easy rooftop access. We'll start with that. Yeah, this might take a bit. We'll skip ahead as needed. I will say though, this this is definitely classic XCOM. Scouring the map for that one last alien tucked into a corner somewhere. Can't say I missed it, but it is very accurate to the retro experience. Seb clock just out back. Monitor that lizard. Let's get that door. Secure the back room. Or not. Door is gone. Let's get a shield in there. Both are running pretty thin, but Clones is in slightly better shape. Just want to be ready for the inevitable Reaper rush. You know it's coming at some point. And snipers moving up. I had them hanging back, covering our approach. We'll get them out towards that ladder and back. Oof. Okay, fair enough. Clone's shield is out, but Clone himself is unscathed. Nice, nice. Go for cap. Seb capped. Lock it down. Don't like that blind spot out back, but we'll leave it be. Filter into office. Hold here. Snipers up top. Manted. Oh, bug off. Clone Trooper dinged, but still standing. We'll get that patched, but let's clear the threat first. No luck. Let's punch out that wall. Thank you. Manted out. And patch. And do some quick shuffling. We seem to have activated a small pocket. So there might be more en route. Reaper on approach. Zero threat at that range. Slight stuttering on the enemy activity banner. Implies we have at least one more we're not seeing. Yeah, that's fine. Hold. And there it is. Yes. One Reaper out, but another one positioned behind the bus over yonder. So, pretty much as previously suspected, we did have one group of holdouts. Though, to be fair, I was mainly just expecting Reapers to be tucked into corners and such. It turns out we actually had other, more notable threats as well. The Seb plus the Manted. The Manted actually did some damage, too. Once again reaffirming that they are definitely the biggest threat of this particular mix. Since, at this point, I think it's safe to say that the enemies do tend to come in three general groupings. You've got your Scions, Sectons, and Cyber Drones. You've got your Mantids, Sebs, and apparently Reapers. And then you've got your Wraiths plus Servitors. I don't think we've ever seen Servitors with anyone else. And I think we're done. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, or not. Well, lock back down. I will say, though, I am a lot more nervous now that we know it's not just Reapers left out here. Nothing. And nothing. Okay. Very quick enemy turns implies they're not really moving around much, so we'll have to shake them loose. Let's sweep those streets. Target pinged. Reaper dumpster diving. Looks like we had a friendly out here too, for all the good that did us. Let's get ourselves set up. We've still got blind spots on our flanks. We'll also need to bring up the snipers. Once again, I had them hanging back to cover our approach. I'll also say, as useless as he was, at least that friendly died clean. Death by plasma transfusion is brutal but quick, as opposed to a parasite unseen. Check corner. Okay, so hopefully this is it. But let's not overextend. We'll hold an alley. Let it come to us. Might as well clear the rest of these rooms while we're at it, though. Though I suspect if there was anything in them, it would have already come at us. The impression I'm getting here, given that this is one of the rare larger maps, is that enemies who are too far away just don't activate until you come within X distance. I mean, initially I was thinking it was something unique to the Reapers, since we obviously saw the ones in the restaurant that just sort of corner camped until they had no corner left to camp in. Oh, shoot. Okay. 2 on approach, but make that 1. 1 on approach. Yeah, these guys are a pretty trivial threat as long as you see them coming. But yeah, see, originally, based on their behavior in the restaurant, I was assuming they were like ambush predators, programmed to lurk just out of sight and try to wait until you drew within a certain distance. But that was before we encountered the Seb and Mantid on this side of the map. That seems to imply that while they might wander a little when you're not nearby, they don't really fully activate and start coming at you until you're within a certain proximity. Which, you know, I've got mixed feelings on, because, like, on the one hand, having enemies deliberately hold back or not activate, I suppose, until you get close enough, does discourage exactly what I was doing early on, which was just hunkering down in our landing zone, or whatever secure area you can carve out for yourself, and then just killing all the enemies as they futilely approach you. But at the same time, the alternative is this, which is forcing the player to do a slow, methodical grid sweep. very authentic to the original experience, but also simultaneously not a whole lot of fun to actually play through. Let alone watch. I mean, I've got like 15-20 minutes worth of footage here I'm going to have to trim at least. As much fun as it is, I'm sure, to watch me slowly and methodically move from cover to cover. And just for posterity, pre-edited, this is 58 minutes. Really bogged down there towards the end, aside from the brief firefight in the office. But yeah, aside from that, it was a pretty straightforward bug hunt. Ooh, look at all those medals. And look at those casualties. Oh boy. But hey, on the bright side, Golden Star for Lucas. And for Devant. Plus, what is that, a Distinguished Service Medal? Nice! Congrats to Bowman. Definitely earned that. Oh wow, and Bloody Doves making up for lost time. With a Golden Star, a Distinguished... Oh no, Crux Solaris. And then the Terror Site medal. Yeah, and then not much in the way of loot. I'd guesstimate about 100k perhaps. Let's get it back to base. Andron Wreckage Analysis, nice. One more bonus banked. Oh, and new research. Fusion explosives. Where did that come from? Oh wait, are enemies coming standard equipped with grenades now? That would mark another significant escalation. Man, if that is the case, if they were rocking grenades, then we were even luckier than I realized. There were at least a few points where they were right on top of us. Though I suppose we were keeping them suppressed, so that would prevent them from throwing. Wow, still though, that is wild. And also yet another project for the queue. Though, much like with lasers, I think we're going to have to do the... Well, we've already got it in progress, so no point in stopping it now anyway. Yeah, we'll do alenium explosives first, worry about fusion explosives later. Really need to get those dragonflies in play. That said, this does feel like a good place to call it. Definitely a bit of a slog today, but it did have its moments. We're still hanging in there. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of the usual off-screen bookkeeping, sell off that excess loot, reset Phoenix, and we will pick up here next time, as our perpetual uphill struggle continues. Though thankfully we are about due for some rocket assist. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Theory V23, Revenant, Alois, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the Patreon, the PayPal, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.